I was emotional like everyone else, especially when his family got in the ring.
The latest episode of WWE Raw delivered a backstage moment that left fans both intrigued and anxious, as Jimmy Uso reportedly sent a pointed message to his twin brother, Jey Uso, during a tense post-match sequence. The incident, captured in clips shared on WWE's official platforms and social media, offers a glimpse into the ongoing complexities within the legendary Bloodline faction, signaling possible internal strife, subtle power struggles, and storyline developments that could redefine one of WWE's most dominant teams. The background: the Bloodline's legacy. To understand the gravity of this backstage message, it's important to consider the legacy and recent history of the Bloodline. Composed of Roman Reigns, the tribal chief, and his cousins, the Usos, the faction has dominated WWE programming for years. Together, they have established themselves as nearly unstoppable, with Reigns holding the undisputed WWE Universal Championship and the Usos serving as formidable tag team champions. However, even the tightest families are not immune to tension. Over the past few months, subtle cracks have appeared within the Bloodline. Jey Uso has been portrayed as slightly more independent-minded, occasionally questioning Roman's leadership or voicing concern about the extreme measures taken to maintain dominance. Jimmy, conversely, has often been depicted as the loyal enforcer, fully committed to Roman's vision and willing to go to any lengths to ensure the faction remains intact. This dynamic, loyalty versus independence, is central to understanding the backstage confrontation. The backstage moment, a message delivered. Reports indicate that the incident took place shortly after RAW went off the air. Jey Uso had just finished a promo with Roman Reigns, during which tensions between the brothers were subtly hinted at. As cameras were cutting away to another segment, Jimmy approached Jey, delivering a message that was equal parts warning, advice, and assertion of loyalty. According to insiders, Jimmy's tone was calm but firm. There was no shouting, no overt aggression, but every word carried weight. Observers described Jimmy leaning in slightly, locking eyes with Jey, and making it unmistakably clear that the faction's unity and Roman's authority were non-negotiable. "Jey, you know what's at stake. Don't test boundaries. Don't do anything that puts the Bloodline at risk," Jimmy reportedly said. Though subtle, the interaction reportedly left a strong impression. Jey's reaction was one of quiet contemplation rather than defiance, but those present backstage sensed the undercurrent of tension. While the Usos have historically been a united front, tonight's moment suggested that cracks could be forming in that unity, opening the door for future storylines involving betrayal, rivalry, or dramatic decisions that may change the trajectory of the Bloodline. Why this matters: the power dynamics within the Bloodline. The significance of Jimmy's message extends beyond mere words. It reflects a calculated assertion of authority and a reminder of the hierarchy within the faction. Roman Reigns may be the leader, but the Usos operate as the backbone, enforcing his will in the ring and behind the scenes. Jimmy's message to Jey reinforces the idea that loyalty is mandatory and that any perceived deviation could have consequences. Backstage sources emphasize that this kind of storytelling adds layers to WWE programming. By creating subtle interpersonal conflict within a dominant faction, WWE is able to generate intrigue without resorting to immediate on-screen altercations. Fans are left speculating about what Jey will do next. Will he continue to follow Jimmy and Roman unquestioningly, or will he begin to assert his independence, potentially setting up a dramatic storyline that could culminate in betrayal, a title feud, or even a match between the brothers themselves? Fan reactions, speculation, and excitement. Fans immediately took to social media to discuss the implications of Jimmy's message. Hashtags like #BloodlineTension, #Jimmy and Jey, and #WWE Raw began trending as viewers speculated about the potential fallout. The WWE Universe has long been invested in the familial dynamics of the Bloodline, and any hint of internal conflict sends fans into a frenzy of predictions. "This is exactly what WWE needed," one fan tweeted. "The Bloodline has been dominant, but there's always room for drama." Jimmy warning Jey, "Things are about to get intense." Another fan posted, If Jey goes against Roman after this, we could see a full-blown faction war. The Bloodline just became unpredictable. These reactions illustrate the effectiveness of WWE's subtle backstage storytelling, where a simple message or glance can set off weeks of speculation and engagement. Potential storyline implications. The implications of Jimmy's message are multifaceted. First, it reinforces Roman Reigns' dominance. Even his trusted family members are reminded that his leadership is absolute. Second, it positions Jey as a potential wild card, someone who could either strengthen the faction through loyalty or destabilize it through subtle defiance. Possible future storylines include internal conflict. Jey could gradually begin to question Roman's leadership, leading to in-ring tension or backstage segments where family loyalty is tested. Sibling rivalry. If Jey ultimately defies Jimmy or Roman, it could set up a feud between the Usos themselves, resulting in a series of high-stakes matches. Faction expansion or betrayal. WWE may introduce new elements, such as outside interference, alliances with other superstars, or betrayal angles that shift the balance of power within RAW. Each of these directions carries potential for dramatic television, compelling promos, and in-ring storytelling that could dominate WWE programming for months. Historical context: the Usos' journey. The Usos, born Jimmy and Jey Fatu, have long been a cornerstone of WWE's tag team division. Their evolution from high-energy rookies to multi-time tag team champions has been marked by charisma, in-ring skill, and an understanding of narrative storytelling. Over the years, they've been involved in some of the most memorable matches and storylines in WWE history, including their alliance with Roman Reigns in The Shield and subsequent transformation into the Bloodline. This backstage confrontation is yet another chapter in their evolving story. The Usos have always balanced loyalty to family with ambition, and tonight's interaction suggests that tension between those two forces could come to the forefront. The narrative potential here is significant. WWE fans are drawn to stories where personal relationships intersect with power, titles, and in-ring dominance, and the Usos embody that intersection perfectly.